Man Toga, SRS runway, auto thrust is blue. 80 knots, thrust set. 5500. 3000. Rotate.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you had a wonderful weekend flying your simulator, going fishing, doing whatever it is y'all do on the weekend. Glad to have you here back on this Monday morning here from the V1 HQ in North Texas. Currently sitting on the ramp in an A321 Neo. This time, we're going to get a little more in depth on this bird. We flew it the day it released. Hold on, I get an echo? No. I flew it the day it released, but that was just kind of like we were blinded by the light of the new sim, right? So today, we're actually going to check it out a little bit more in depth. We're going to fly it like a real airplane. I got all my bindings, got all my views done, and we're going to see how she handles. Then later on this afternoon, right after the stream rather, we're going to try the 321 Fenix, and we're going to do a short hop. I got 2 short hops today. I got some family in town, so I got some obligations down in Fort Worth. Going to be hanging out there for the rest of the evening, so I wanted to get in a couple streams though today before I did that. So I hope you all are ready for this one. I do have that Iveo Premium installed, and I don't think I have proper VMRs. I tried loading some MTLs, and I don't know, I'm getting a bunch of weird traffics, and I don't know if it's hurting my performance. I think it is. I'm just gonna alt F4 vPilot. Here's one thing I've also noticed though. This airplane, let's just cut to the chase right now. Being an external view in this airplane is death. So I don't know if the optimization is wrong or what have you, but I cannot get an external view in this airplane. I was going to do a walk around, but I just can't do it. It just eats up VRAM, it crashes my system, and it's just absolutely atrocious when I'm in external spot view. So I hope you get a good view of it here. We're going to hop into the cockpit, and that's going to be it. We're not going to come outside anymore. Now, with that said, it is a pretty decent model. We are missing some things here on the livery, just looking at this here. We should have the RVSM critical area right here. You can't really see that. It'd be a red box around that. But I mean, all the basic stuff is there. You got the ice probe up there. You got all your static ports, your AOA vanes, and all that stuff. So I don't know. Yeah, see, now it's even, my performance is even worse. It's even worse than it was a second ago. I don't know what it is. I'm just going to hop in the cockpit here if I can. And we're just going to stay in the cockpit because the cockpit is fine. Once do I have to reload the sim again? Is this another thing here? Do I have to reload this stream again? This is ridiculous, dude. This airplane is destroying my whole stream. I mean, I'm going to do one restart, and if it doesn't fix it, I'm not even going to fly this airplane. This is atrocious. Frames are dead to me. Well, here's the other issue, too. So streaming this simulator is taxing on performance. No third-party studios, JJ. We're going default. So, the whole streaming basis of this simulator is the worst possible idea from Microsoft. If that wasn't a thing, I would actually be much more hopeful for this whole sim. But as a content creator and trying to stream while downloading and uploading, I mean, it is taxing on the system. So we'll try one more time. We'll try to reload into the airplane one last time. Sometimes that fixes it, and then we'll go from there. So, yeah, I don't know what it is. I quit using the 321 for the same reason. Thank you, Fenix. Yeah, I mean, I really wanted to give this another shot because I like the model and I like the textures, and I think it's a pretty good setup. But man, it's just, if it can't perform, I'm running a 4080 Super on a AMD 7800 X3D. Like I have no issues in any other airplane. It's this airplane it's causing the problem. So. Hopefully, this seems a little bit smoother. We shall see. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take the chocks off, and I'm going to pan over here. You see, as I pan around, it wants to die. We're going to get rid of those, and now we're just going to get into the cockpit, and we're going to leave it at that. All right? Boom. Done. Back in the cockpit, everything looks fine. So we got our frames back, at least. That's just the worst idea ever. Just, I don't know. But hey. Good vibes. We got an airplane. We got our bindings. I mean, look at the come over here as we stutter through the cabin. I mean, it's a pretty good wing. It's a pretty good model out there. So, I mean, we'll see. Monitoring my network traffic. Microsoft is regularly pulling greater than 300 megabytes in bursts of streaming. Yeah. So I'm uploading at 25 megabits a second to maintain a 2K stream, and it taxes the whole system, dude. It's really gaming as a service. Gaming as a service is the future. Well, Lauren, then that's going to count me out. You know, if it continues down this path, that'll be the end of gaming for me, because it's kind of ridiculous when you think about it. So, but let's go ahead and boot it up here. Battery 1. There comes battery 2. We'll get you on. We'll get you on here. Now, I do like the integration of SimBrief and all that stuff. And something is definitely bugged with the sounds, because if I look at my sound profile or my sound settings on my desktop, I'll show you how many Microsoft Flight Simulators I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 audios in just my desktop sound mixer, volume mixer. So I don't know what's going on with that. But let's go ahead and get the ground control push button on. Let's do CVR test. I can hear it there barely. We'll go ahead and get the ADIRS line 1, 2, and 3. We get the on-bat light. Looks like the aircraft's waking up. We'll go strobes, auto, nav, 1. No smoking arm. The emergency exit lights. That all looks good. Let's see if our fire tests have downloaded from the cloud. There they are. Number 1. Number 2. And then we'll do the APU fire test. That is all set on the overhead. That looks good. We'll go PA out and 3. Or I'm sorry, we'll do PA out and 3 like so. All right, cool. That looks good. We got an RMP on the roof. We'll go ahead and clear the caution. Let's turn on some juice lights here. That's up. Let's go ahead and do we have a dome light? Dome light. Dome lights appear to be broken in the sim as well. I've noticed this going across different airplanes. A lot of dome lights and backlighting does not seem to be working properly. So Anyway, they could use some sort of basics here on the X and probably stream the enhancers. That'd be way better. There's a whole lot of things they could have done differently. I don't know what... I mean, I know what it is. It's all about money, you know? You will own nothing, and you will like it, you will be happy, and you will pay for it. So that's what it's all about. But I'm kind of hoping... I know what I need to reset here is my momentum. If you guys have been around the Flight Simulator franchise for a while, you'll remember that FS 2000 was kind of a big flop. All right, and I'm kind of thinking this is the same thing. I'm thinking we had a great launch with 2020, or not a great launch. We have a good sim with 2020. They're going to flop here on 2024 with this service streaming based nonsense crap, and then hopefully in 2028, which will probably release in 2027 if they stick with it, maybe they go back to their old ways of you can download the whole sim as an option, and I think that would make a lot more people happy. But we'll go Magic Barrel Ref here. 290902 doesn't seem to be working. I might have to change my keyboard. Let's come down here. We'll go to the init page. FMC, we'll do a request init. There it is. That's us, San Diego, or John Wayne to Phoenix. That looks good. We'll come over here. We'll get you out of the way, off, and we're not going to do any squawk code of for VPilot. I'm going to keep everything off. Now, what's interesting is, okay, didn't seem to load the flight plan properly, so we'll take a look at that. We'll come in here, we'll do our SNA departures. Now there is definitely some issues with the way this uplinks to the sim here. The way that the flight plan uplinks is not how it would do it in the real plane. You'd have some discos and stuff like that, so there is some errors with the box out of the gate. JJ, thanks for the $5 super chat. I'm getting 120 FPS in the Phoenix experimental. It's the first iteration of the 2024 Vision. Yeah. Go Amir. I know, man. I'm excited. I'm excited to give it a shot here. We're going to be trying that on the next stream. So we'll be looking at. We'll see if there's much of a difference on the next one, on the next stream. So stick around for that. But thank you, JJ. I appreciate you, man. All right, we're going off of the. Let's see here. John Wayne, the Piggins, and a scenery transition. So what I do really like is I've got my Navigraph on the EFB here. This is really cool, and I love the quick access to it. I like it better than anything we had in 2020 with the Navigraph app. I like having this iPad in the sim. This is great. This is like the old school AviTab if the X-Plane fans are around here. So I really do enjoy that. But that's us, 20 right, pig in 3, scenery. We'll insert that. Going into Sky Harbor, let's see if we can do a quick check of the weather. We'll go to Phoenix. Right now, the METAR in Phoenix, should probably call them 090 at 5. Ooh. So 090 at 5. If we look at Sky Harbor Airport, we'll plan to go straight in on runway 08 or 7 right. Let's minimize our taxiing. Let's just go runway 8. Nice long runway. Actually, let's fly over the stadium. Let's plan. Yeah, I guess 8. We'll do number 8. Runway 8. We'll come in off ILS runway 8. So I'll hide you. And I like that because I don't have the Navigraph app up, and it blocks you guys in the stream. It all captures in one shot through Streamlabs, which is really good. So there are definitely some good things in this release that I enjoy. The Hydra, we'll come back. What was there? So after the Hydra, we'll hide you. No, get out of here. Where's my route? Blythe Hydra. Blythe Hydra. We'll insert that for 20 right. So there's our flight plan. That all looks good. Now remember, what I want to do here on this stream is we're trying to operate this sort of like we would operate the Phoenix. We want to see what's modeled, what's not modeled, what's incorrect, and we'll go from there. It has to fetch it every time, can partially fail. There's so many things that go along, continuously recaching the data every load. Yes, I know. I'm right there with you. Read somewhere that it will be possible to download sim in the future, at least partially on 2020. What happens if Microsoft shuts down the streaming? You own nothing. No, absolutely right. There is something to be said about having the sim on your own system. It's a terrible idea, but I understand why they do it, and if you understand money, then you'll understand why they do it. So we're going to apply this load to the aircraft. We'll do an instant apply. I wonder what happened there. That seems interesting. We got an ECAM when I did that. It looks like we got our fuel and tanks. We'll go VOR, flight director, constraint mode. Now, I don't have Magic Barrel Ref working on this keyboard setup, so I'm just going to see what the METAR is here real quick. We'll go to weather, METAR, 3015. I'd have to change my keyboard commands, I guess. I don't think I want to do that. 3015. 3015. Now, real quick is make sure, because remember we had issues with duplicate bindings with views and rudders. Will Microsoft 2020 planes transfer to 24? That's the plan in the future. I don't know if they will, and without an update from the dev, I don't believe you're going to get the new flight model characteristics. So I think that's what Fenix has done. They've tweaked flight modeling on both. So I guess allegedly the stuff that is different in the Fenix now is also in 2020. So there's I guess zero difference between the two, but we're going to find out. We're flying the Fenix on the next stream, so let's get this bird off the gate. This defaults to vertical speed 0. That's not really, I mean, I guess if it captured that, it would do that, but let's just go ahead and set our top altitude 310. We'll recycle the flight directors here. Okay, now we should go flight director. It should be climb nav, but it's not pulling up a climb nav, but that might be because it wants this. It's a simism here. That looks good. Our fuel is on board 9.5. We'll put you in there. Verify our fuel is balanced. It is. With all fuel in the tanks, we'll go ahead and turn our fuel tank pumps on, seatbelts on. We'll prime the APU for start. We'll get rid of the fuel page. Flap open will come up here, and we'll be ready to go. We don't technically have to wait for the flap open. You just want to wait about 5 seconds to get the power up of the computer. If you just go right to a APU start, the old software, if you had a low oil, it wouldn't tell you that you had low oil, so you could have an issue. We used to have to wait for flap open, but now they just say 3 to 5 seconds. But we'll go ahead and start the APU. Let's see if the sounds have downloaded from the cloud. You'll notice I have the downloading from cloud emoji, courtesy of all the support from y'all. So whenever something is missing, we'll just throw the cloud emoji in the box here. I've been flying the A400M. You love it? Man, I still haven't. Flown the A400M. I got to give it a shot. I really liked, y'all. I mean, the Beach 18 stream that we did on, was it Friday? That was the most fun I've had in a flight simulator since probably getting the C90 King Air from Coronado and FSX when it first released and flying it over Orbix Orcas Island. Like, I had so much fun in that Beach 18 stream. The Beach 18 is not really modeled all that well as far as systems are concerned. It's a base airplane. But the GA flying and the fun we had on that stream, that was the most fun I've had in decades. Probably my entire X-Plane career, it was more fun than that, and more fun than anything we've done in 2020, I think. Definitely top 3. Let's just say top 3. Helo Medevac stream, Sean. We will do some Helo stuff eventually. So this keeps defaulting back here. Let's see. So I'm going to clear you out. Maybe she wants speeds. Now this, I'm saying it's a simism because the real birds used to act like this, but we're going to sync this. 20 right, weights, config 1. Now here's what we have to do in our airplane. We're going to see if the Fenix can handle this. For us taking off out of John Wayne, we have to manually adjust the reduction and acceleration altitude to 860 and 3060, and we have to do a config 3 with Toga takeoff. So I'm going to calculate this. Okay. These are our speeds, Toga. So before I set them up, if we come here, this is going to be next level stuff. I don't know if it'll work or not. I'm just curious to see how it talks to the sim. So this is what we do. We do 860 thrust reduction, 3060 for acceleration. Now, if you were to do that before you imported or uplinked your speeds, it's going to reset your reduction and acceleration altitude. So you want to do that after. So I'm going to send this to the FMGS. We'll come back here. We'll confirm the takeoff data and it's uplinked. Okay, so it didn't reset this, but this is also what the newer birds will do, is they actually uplink because our company can put in our specific thrust reduction and acceleration altitudes for noise abatement at noise sensitive airports. So I can't really say that this is wrong, but I can't really say that it's right. But again, everybody operates Airbus differently. There's so many different options out there. But at the end of the day, taking off out of Santa Ana John Wayne here, we want to make sure we have 860, 3060, we're flaps 3, Toga takeoff, 55, 58, 61. I will say that I like the little feature of add to uplink here, because it's a small button. You know, sometimes I think in 2020 there's some airplanes we have where it just sends it to the McDo and it automatically populates without having to press any uplink here. The way we do it, at least the way that we do it at my operator, is we do have to press the uplink button. So for me, it adds one extra small tiny step of immersion. But we're good to go. 20 right, 55, 58, 61, flap 3, down 0.2 on the trim. We're all set to go. Let's go ahead and disconnect. We'll get the APU bleed on. We'll get the beacon on for engine start. Flight directors are coming back on, and now it properly goes to climb nav blue. So you can see that you don't want that vertical speed 0. The only time I've seen that vertical speed 0 there capture, that alt capture, is if the current altimeter setting is pretty much just within the capture window, and it'll act like it's captured the altitude, and you'll have alt here, ALT. When that happens, you just have to like reset your flight directors and spin this altitude knob up a little bit so it's not in that altitude capture zone. But it happens, you know, every now and then depending on the current altimeter setting. But everything else looks good. I think we're ready to push and start. I did pull the chocks when we did the pseudo walk around. I don't want to go back outside if I can help it, because if we go back outside, we'll lose all of our frames. But right now, everything seems to be working wonderfully. Let's go ahead and attempt to get a tug and push back out of here. So we're going to go to the ground operations. I guess that's a click through spot there. Every time I click this, I pull up the sunshade. So we're going to go ahead and GPU is off. GPU is disconnected. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and toggle pushback. Aft pushback started. So we'll get our cams up. Before start checklist, windows, doors, and slides are closed and armed. Beacon is on. Thrust levers idle. Parking brake is on. Before start checklist is complete. All right. The comma key is magic barrel ref key. I rebound that to views. I rebound that to views. I still don't understand this this entire. Let's just go ahead and brakes release. Let's get off the gate. We're going the wrong way. I don't understand the logic behind the user interface for the control bindings, and I can simplify it for you. I should not have to watch a tutorial video on how to bind controls in a game. If you have to watch a tutorial video or read a instruction manual, I got to alt enter here because it's eating all my VRAM again. If you have to watch a tutorial video or read a tutorial instruction manual on how to bind controls, the user interface is not good. So I understand what they are attempting to do in some aspects of this binding situation. Jeez, we got to get off the ground. This airplane on the ground is almost unflyable for me. You can see that here. We see when I get this stutter like this, that's because my VRAM is maxed out. So I have to keep alt entering to a windowed mode than a full mode. Does secondary flight plan work? You know what? I totally forgot. Let's take a look at that. And I never really finished our init, but it does. And I want to give some credit here where credit is due. This is a default airplane, and we actually have a pretty well modeled box. So let's go ahead and let's do our secondary. Let's see how it works. This would be something we would do at the gate before we push back. Secondary flight plan, if we have to come back, matter of fact, let's re-init that. I'd re-init it, but I don't want to get a WASM crash. Let's just roll with it here. If we have to come back, we'll come back to the arrival for the ILS 20 right. We'll insert use, secondary perf data. All we care about is the approach phase. We'll just say it's 12 degrees outside off the ECAM. We'll zero out the winds. It's basically calm. Magic barrel ref, we'll put 200 on the radio, and it's like 3015 or something. So the secondary is functioning. Now I put a return here of John Wayne. In real life, we'd probably put LAX here, because taking off at a John Wayne, the only reason you'd come back to John Wayne, and even then it's a questionable decision, is if you're on fire. Because you can literally take off and like turn and land at LAX. If you look here, let's hide this. Can I make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see it a little better? I guess I can't, huh? I just kind of have to zoom in on it. I guess I was thinking of Burbank, but there's Long Beach. I mean, LAX is right here, right? So we're taking off right here, SNA. If we're on fire, you can literally make a right turn and land on a really long runway. But again, situations are situational, right? If you do want to come back to SNA, you can still come back to SNA, but it's a short runway and you'll probably be overweight and you might run off the end of the runway. So there's a lot more that goes into the real world thought process here for departing an airport with a really short runway like this. So same with SJC takeoff issue, Oakland. Yeah, it's San Jose, same. A-Rod's got a good point. Matter of fact, if I put this on, let's just put this on VFR, IFR low, or no, let's do, what's the VFR look like? VFR chart. Yeah, so A-Rod, this is even a better example, but absolutely right. So let's say you are taking off out of San Jose. You could actually go San Francisco too. You can split the difference. If you're blasting off here at San Jose, instead of making a turnaround, look, you got Oakland right here. So sometimes in your secondary, you would put departing SJC, landing Oakland, departing SJC, landing SFO. I guess technically SFO would be a little bit closer. You might have to do a distance measure on that, but I just wanted to point that out. You know, we're trying to simulate some realistic behavior here. I kind of breezed through the secondary flight plan. It's a real important piece of software in your McDo in the real aircraft, and it's good to report that this piece of software, the secondary flight plan, is fully, at least as of right now, fully simulated in our default 321 Neo. So that's kudos to iniBuilds for getting that. It took Flight Factor 42 years to get a secondary flight plan modeled. So anyway, we're all set up. Let's go ahead and start engines. I did get my Throttletek bound properly. We go ignition mode to ignition start. Let's go ahead and take a listen from inside. And the stuttering will stop once we get airborne, y'all. So again, it's iniBuilds 321 Neo that does it. Starting engine 1. Let's go. Let's take a listen to the sounds and see if they downloaded from the cloud. Oh, Steven, I love the McMuffin, man. Not the sausage, though. Egg McMuffin. Pretty quiet, but it's there. It's no fly-by-wire startup. Beef Jesus, I'm using EFP with Navigraph. Yeah, update your Navigraph hub, and it will automatically load in. I want to say that this option we're going to spin to here real quick, but this is a huge plus for me. I mean, I say some negative things about the user interface and the bindings and the streaming of the entire sim to Microsoft. I don't know if they ever watch, if they catch any of these videos or anything like that. Absolutely atrocious idea of streaming everything and atrocious user interface for key bindings. On the flip side of that coin, absolutely wonderful integration of the EFB, and now we can have Navigraph in our EFB. That's a very welcomed addition. I really, really do enjoy this. I kind of glazed over it when the sim released because, you know, there was so much going on. But the more I fly the sim, I really enjoy that EFB. Let's go ahead and crank number 2. I like that slow roll up there on the leap. Pretty good animations there. I mean, I'm not even going to mute the mic. There's really nothing to hear. And I've noticed this with other airplanes where the startup sounds are missing. Now this doesn't appear missing. It just seems kind of quiet. But in all truthfulness, the Neos are pretty darn quiet. But look at that model. I mean, this iniBuilds model is great. Look, that right now, this shot right now with the reflection and the leading edge, that looks really good. 2020 is the real sim. What's up, Wingnut? Yes, you can push EFB to external display, Mr. Holder. You sure can. All right, we'll go engine mode to ignition start. We'll arm those. I'm going to talk about that. Let's go ahead and extend flaps 3 now. We'll just stay on this view. That's a great wing model. Wingnut in a house. He's the wing connoisseur. What do you think, man? I like this wing. I like these flaps. I like the textures. This looks very, very good. Right in here, this is really well done. This nice detail here where we got the 2 different flaps. I actually really enjoy that. Looks great. Go ahead and smash the like button if you agree with me, because we have 600 people in here, only 155 likes. That's unacceptable. We're doing a Flaps 3 Toga static takeoff. Absolute max juice. So please hit that like button. Helps the algorithms. Let's go ahead and get everything finished up here. So we got 2 good engine starts. We're back to normal. Flaps are 3. Spoilers are armed. Allegedly. No, they're not. They are now. Spoilers armed. Flaps 3. We'll go ahead and turn off the APU bleed, but we have to do a packs off takeoff. I don't know if the APU bleed demand is simulated. We'll take a look at that when we get to the runway. Now, we also realized that the nose wheel steering, albeit turns the nose wheel, it does not turn the aircraft on the ground, which is unfortunate. That's a bug. Hopefully they'll fix it. So much for the first day 1 patch. But we're going to have to use our rudder pedals to steer the aircraft on the ground, which I can't stand. It's such a such an immersion killer for me. Oh, wait a second. It's fixed. What? Hold up. Hold on. We're going to lose all of our frames because I'm going to external view. Golly, what is up with this? This is the only airplane this happens on. Okay, never mind. It's working now. It's working. Okay, let's do our first taxi test here. Let's see how we do here. On day 1, that nose wheel axis was not, and what I want to do then is, okay, I'm going to disconnect it from the tiller. So let's go to, oh my gosh, let's go to options, rudder controls, tiller, no. Guys, this freaking performance on this airplane is atrocious, though. All right. Here we go. Let's go ahead and taxi out. Now, let's see how the taxiing feels. So we're auto brakes, max. We'll do a takeoff config check. Cabin waiting on them. We're going to go weather PWS will flip you into position 1. And transponder, we're going to get that. That's the new panel, so give me a second. We'll get that here in just a minute. I mean, I can't even look around on the ground in this airplane. I don't know why that is. And for those saying it's frame gen mod, it's not the frame gen mod. I have native frame gen. I've never had this issue other than with the fly-by-wire 380 and the Fenix, or excuse me, the fly-by-wire 380 and the iniBuilds 321 Neo. So it's not a settings issue. It's an airplane issue. It's not acceptable. Fix your stuff. So we'll go wing light. Let's get everything on here. Because I'm not going to change all of my settings just to fly one airplane. That's unacceptable. So I don't know what's causing that, but it needs to be fixed. Non-patch scenery in 24, nose wheel doesn't work. Whoa, JJ, thanks for the $2 super chat, man. I appreciate you. That's an interesting tidbit. So you're saying, JJ, if I were to just bring over a 2020 scenery and drop it into 24, the nose wheel steering won't work? Very interesting. All right, nobody's on. We're not on a network, so let's just go ahead and line it up here. Thanks for the $2 super chat, AJ. That's a good tidbit to know. Once we get centered on the runway here, we're going to turn the APU bleed on. We're going to see if we notice any difference in EGT or N1. This is a bad lineup. I will say, this is my first taxi out with the tiller working. This feels great. This feels much better. I also like the braking. The braking feels more realistic. The ground friction with the braking feels good. This feels better than what I've previously experienced. This feels very believable. That actually looks like a pretty decent lineup. We'll go ahead and set that there. I'll try to go to outside view to show you my lineup. That's a pretty dang good lineup, actually. Alright, I need to re-alt enter. Let's go back inside. And I'm going to do this one last time. I got to do another alt enter. Now, I think this will stop once we get airborne, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, did I knock my camera off? There we go. Let's put you back over there. Alright, so let's go ahead and turn the APU bleed on and see if we get any difference here. Not seeing any noticeable change with the pack situation. So we'll turn the bleed off. Let's go pack 1, pack 2 off. There is a slight EGT change. So what we'll do is, I'm not sure if the APU bleed logic works properly, so we're going to go packs off for takeoff, and we'll turn the APU off. So we are set to go. We're Toga, flaps 3 static on the takeoff. So I need everybody to maximum yogas in chat. That was probe heat? I hit probe heat? Okay, well, anyway, we have the packs off now. Oh well. Close enough. Alright. It doesn't matter, we got the APU off. We'll try it again later. See, I don't even know if I can go to window view because we just get this nonsense here. We'll spool them up 50. We'll go back to the cockpit. I'm going to re-stop the stuttering. Unbelievable. And let's go Toga. Mantoga SRS runway, auto thrust blue. I have questions on the N1 at 85% there. Maybe it's alright. Thrust set. Ground roll feels great, 100 knots. Just little correction on the rudder to keep us on center line. Feels really good. V1, rotate. Positive rate, gear up. Nav. Now here we should get our thrust reduction. We got to be Johnny on the spot here with our thrust reduction. We don't wait for positive trend. Come right back to climb. Thrust climb. Sounds are definitely lacking. Sounds are definitely lacking. See how much smoother it is when we get airborne, though? Maintain that V2, up to V2 plus 10 there on the SRS command. TCAS standby, I forgot to do that. That's alright. I want to see how the logic is working here for the reduction. So now we should see 30-60, and we're going to go into climb. There's climb. Wonderful. So that is actually modeled really well. And look at the rapid acceleration. So let's go ahead and go right to flaps 1 speed checks. Flaps 1. And let's go ahead and get that TCAS into ATC auto. Cool. There we go. Oh, we're still in standby. Gosh dang it. I hate these panels. It takes me 5 minutes to figure out. There we go. Alt constraint star. There's S speed. Flap 0. Take a look at the slats coming in. Handling feels alright. Feels a little more responsive. Thrust climb, climb. Let's hand flyer it out here. Sounds are definitely leaving more to be desired. The wing looks great. Air pack 1, 2 off, that's associated. We'll go pack 1. Start the chrono, give it about 15 seconds, we'll go pack 2. The performance here seems pretty good. Almost too good. There's 10 seconds, we'll go pack 1 on. You can see here we're climbing at almost 15 degrees of pitch here to get back to 250. Let's see what she stabilizes at. We'll lower the nose. I mean, we don't have that much fuel on. We only have 8,500 pounds of fuel on, which, okay, I'll take it. She is light, so. Maintain the flight director here. I'm going to be very curious to see what our Fenix is going to feel like. I have not even flown the Fenix yet in this sim. Seems good. Why are we still... We're above? We're TARA. What's going on with our TCAS? Or TARA above... Oh, altitude reporting on? There we go. There's 10,000 feet. We'll lower the nose. We'll kill the lights. Leave those on for a few more minutes. Another left turn, bank angle check to the left. See, back here sounds good. I mean, honestly, this is what it sounds like if I were to be wearing my Bose Pro flights. This is about what it sounds like up front here. Now, it seems kind of snappy on the roll, which, again, I'm going to be very interested to see what the Fenix feels like here later on this afternoon. Almost seems, like I said, almost seems snappy. Since we're IMC here, we'll just maintain inside view here. Follow the flight directors. Looks like we're getting a nice breakout here, which we are. Breakouts are incredibly better in 2024. Again, credit where credit is due. As atrocious as the user interface is, the coloring that they've adjusted in the sim looks absolutely fantastic. The clouds are no longer ashy gray, especially the thicker clouds, because 2020 looks pretty dang good when you have some light wispies, but the heavier clouds in 2020 always looked like ash clouds. That has been adjusted, and that has been, it almost looks like you're running Atmos again. See, like you've got the dark gray on the backside, but see how white and bright everything is? If you were on this side of the wing right now, you'd be like, oh my gosh, it's so bright out here. And that's exactly how it is. Well, you see that? Look, if I barely touch the roll, I'm going to come back to the left here. What the hell is that? Oh, my iPad just fell off the desk. If I just move it to the right, you see how quick, like, well, I don't know what that's going on there. That's where I'm getting that snappiness. Like, I just... I don't know what that's all about. We'll have to see if that's happening in the Fenix. We'll have to see if that's maybe a control issue or a control binding. Maybe there's some sensitivities needed. Let's get back down to the flight directors. That might be causing a little bit of snappiness. I don't know what that's all about. But again, this is going to be a great opportunity to test both airplanes out, because we're going to be looking at that 321 Fenix yesterday, or today. I was reading the chat message, and the A-Rot was saying yesterday, and I was reading that while I was speaking. It's the same picture, Vodka. It's not the same picture, dude. That is not the same picture. Take off at a John Wayne right now and tell me that's the same picture that you see. Look how white and bright that is. 2024 equals 2020 plus Rex Atmos plus new clouds. As far as visuals go, Turk, in the US, you're right. I agree with you. As far as the visual aspect goes, Turk, you are correct. I would say, now that I've ran Atmos on 2020, this sim is the same color palette, same shaders that I was looking for when I was running Atmos. This is what I was looking for. So, if you run Atmos steadily and you don't get BSODs, blue screens of death, then a visual from the visual standpoint, you're probably not going to notice much of a difference. It looks like our wing, is our wing flex broken on this too? We only have, yeah, we have one wing flex. Again, I don't know how that passes Q&A or quality control. We have our left wing flexing wonderfully. Our right wing is static and droopy. So, I'm gonna keep hand flying it up here because I really want to get a handle on how this airplane flies, and then we're gonna try the Fenix after this stream. So, but you see what I'm talking about? Like I barely just go in and it's like, it's almost like it's like an F-16 where the stick doesn't move hardly, and you just put a little pressure on it, it starts to roll really quick. That's what I feel. I feel like I'm almost in DCS. Is your internet hardwired or Wi-Fi? Brian, it's hardwired. You got to be hard. You cannot stream on Wi-Fi, at least in 2K. I've not been able to do it. If you can do it, let me know. Now, you might be able to do it if you have a really powerful Wi-Fi. As far as me, the only Wi-Fi I've tried to stream on is Starlink, and it can't handle it. It can't handle the upload. You need a steady... To stream in 1080, 60 FPS, you need a solid 10 megabytes a second up at the minimum. Anything less than 10 up, steady, it's not going to be a good output. On my Starlink, I can get, 7 to 10, but it fluctuates, and then you get what's called frame drop, where it looks like people are watching a slideshow that's skipping, but it's actually smooth on your end, and it's just you're losing frames. And the number one fix for that is just go hardwire connection. Diego, yes, the Fenix is coming up on the next stream, my man. It's coming up on the next stream. All right, we're pretty much stabilized here. Let's go AP1 on. I am impressed by the ground roll and the tillering around. The tillering around on the ground felt good. You like the cloud loading emoji? Yes, that's courtesy to all y'all. All the wonderful support you had over the last couple of days. We actually unlocked another emoji slot, so we've got our cloud downloading. When your airline gets Starlink, we get live from Cockpit. Will we get live from Cockpit streams? I don't know, man. Is anybody running Starlink right now in the U.S. as an onboard Wi-Fi provider? I guess we're stuck with the left side wing view because it's the only wing that's flexing, which is unfortunate because the wing textures are great. I really enjoy the wing and flap textures. They look really good. Blackbird Controls, thank you, my man, for the $2 super chat. MSFS 2024 is a mighty expensive alpha build. One could say that, and I would not disagree with you, Blackbird Controls. Thank you for the support, my man. I appreciate the $2 super chat. And we'll have to... I want that. When are we going to get 727 compatibility with 2024? Because that's what I'm interested in. Taking the 727 with some enhanced ground roll, ground friction. Taking it into some sketchy airport ops in the mountains of Colombia. Austin Gray, thanks for the $5 super chat as well. Can't get my TCA side stick to bind in 24. I'm pretty disappointed that I can't even get off the ground after the sim has been out for a week. Austin Gray, thanks for the $5 super chat. Your TCA should bind just fine. Should bind just fine. You're probably doing something wrong. I have no idea what you're doing wrong, but it should work. But I can understand your frustration because the way bindings work in this sim is pretty atrocious. But there shouldn't be a reason that your TCA side stick is not working. I don't know if anybody's put out a tutorial yet on settings and how to bind stuff up, but I know Captain Canada, he flies with the TCA stick and his is working. So unless you have an error on your stick itself, you should be able to bind it up. 24 does not yet deserve the glorious 727. Do you have headphone setting checked in the settings? That dampens a lot of engine sound in the cockpit. No, I do not, Study. But this is what it sounds like. If you guys want to know, like when I have my Bose A20, or not A20s, my Bose Pro Flight on at the lowest setting in a 321 Neo, the 321 Neo is very, very quiet. This is about what it sounds like with noise canceling headphones on in the cockpit up front of a 321 Neo. So it's not an unbelievable quiet. But it's definitely quiet. And that's the benefit of the 321 Neo, right? I mean, having super efficient engines and having nice, quiet noise pollution or lack thereof. Virtual Flight Diaries. Thank you so much, man, for the 5 gifted memberships to the channel. VFD, very kind of you for picking a membership up from VFD. Make sure you shout them out. Say thank you. Very kind of you, Virtual Flight Diaries. Thanks, my man. How to get the window views working in this? I have collisions, which give me a bad view. Downwind leg. Blue Games, I'm going to have to pin this. Blue Games released a video on how to hack yourself outside of the cockpit and bind your own wing views. I'm a big proponent of binding your own views. I know we like to download stuff, drag and drop and download wing views. I'm telling you, if you can figure out, and not even figure out, it's pretty easy to do. You just have to bind it. You have to have the right binds. If you watch a video and bind your controls properly, you can get any wing view you want. Let me see if I can find that video for you. Because it's going to be crucial in anything you fly. Here it is, Blue Games. Take a look at this video. Watch how he sets his stuff up. Now, if you want to use different key bindings to set stuff up, that's totally fine as well. But just do the same code of bindings that he's doing, because it's going to help you for any airplane you get, my man. All right, we're getting ready to flight level 310. Speed limit exceeded. Sure. Our cruise is 310. Let's put Fenix in here. KPHX is set 215 miles. Short flight. We'll level off. Bach Alt Star. Seatbelt sign is coming off. You're now free to move about the cabin. Thank you, JJ Stevens, for the $2 super chat. Let me go full screen cam here while we can. And let me see what JJ said. Thanks, man. Appreciate the $2 super chat. I think I cycle through my wing views 100 times a flight. Yeah, same here, dude. Interesting, JJ. Okay, I'll take a look at that, man. I will take a look at that later on. I'm not going to get into that now, but thank you. I appreciate that. Very interesting. Very interesting. Alright guys, if you like this stream, make sure you hang around for the next one. When this stream ends, we're gonna head over into the Fenix as well. And we're gonna do a short hop. I think we're gonna go I was gonna go Phoenix Vegas, but I'm kinda thinking of reloading and doing a DFW to Houston or something. Maybe a DFW to San Antonio to see if the new DFW is worth anything. Should we check that out? Let's see. I gotta find which flight simulator volume is the proper volume. It's just so bizarre. 17 different Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 volume options. 17. Good morning, Anthony. What's going on, my man? Airbus says, what do you think about the cockpit proportions at iniBuilds 320 compared to Fenix? I think they're off. You think they're off? Cockpit proportions? I mean, you guys normally find the issues with the cockpits. I don't really see anything glaring here unless this is too small. I tell you what, though, is we're going to be going into the Fenix here very soon, so I'm going to be very curious to see what the Fenix looks like after this leg. Can't really imagine an airline pilot loving career mode when you have to start out at the beginning again. Yeah. That's kind of why I've been holding off. Now, I do think it's kind of cool. I mean, the problem is, everybody and their brother is doing the same thing. Let's do career mode together. I'm thinking of a way to do a twist on it. Like maybe we'll have a special night a week where we just we make cocktails and fly career mode, and we play the role of a belligerent student pilot. Try to figure out our way through the career mode together. Some of it's pretty cringe, some of it's decent. I've been watching a lot of Jeff Faviano, not Faviano. I was saying it wrong. He called me out on the stream. Of him doing career mode, which was pretty funny. He's doing a great job with his stuff over there, and he's the one that got me into doing that Beach 18 flight after seeing him fly around the jungle. So career mode, but drunk, exactly. So I'll be curious to see it a little bit, but I mean, I'm more interested in the bush flying. I want to do more Beach 18 bush flying stuff. Was I dreaming or did the Cowboys win one yesterday? They sure won one yesterday. Now, here's a question. Was I dreaming? I legitimately think I'm dreaming, and we're going to go ahead and start preparing for a descent here. But for those of you that watch Captain Canada, I either had a dream or I saw this, or maybe his stream came on when I was asleep on the couch or something. Was he talking about a force feedback from Thrustmaster? Does anybody know about anything about was I just dreaming? Because I thought there was something being said about Thrustmasters coming out with a force feedback yoke, and but I can't find anything on it. So I might have legitimately just been dreaming about flight simulation. What do you think about the fuel flow number? Seems a bit high. Let's take a look. So right now, 3,000 aside. We've got to remember, we're 3,100 feet, or 31,000 feet rather. This is pretty realistic. Now, I don't know why we're in heading mode. That's a bug. Lat discon ahead. Let's go. Well, maybe not. Maybe I just messed it up. Let's go direct to Blythe, and we're set up for the approach. I guess there was a disco there. So the way that works is incorrect. It should just go direct to insert. This box is a little bit incorrect when we go to direct twos, so that seems wrong. But let's load up our arrival again. I love this here. This is cool. We'll go airports. We're gonna go Phoenix. We're coming down the Hydra. So someone said if I go settings, I can make this bigger. Interface. 120. Okay, let's try 120. So let's go back to where we were doing. Let's go airport, options, Phoenix, charts, Hydra. I love this. This is so much better. This is great, y'all. This is a great feature here, this EFB. Wait, what? Maybe we're not coming down to Hydra. Oh yeah, we are. There's Blythe, Skull. Alright, so we got to look for our bottom altitude for the 8,000 transition, which is going to be Kagor at 5,000. So let's go ahead and scroll in 5,000 feet here. We'll see how she does on the descent. 5,000 is set. Let's take a look at the latest and greatest weather at Sky Harbor. Right now, 48 minutes ago, it's an old one. 120 at 4. So we'll go perf. See, this is great. I'm really enjoying this EFB. 17 degrees, winds 120 at 4 knots. Slight little crosswind. That'll be good. Give us a test. Current altimeter at Sky Harbor is 30.15. Wonderful. Let's go back to charts. Let's go to the approach for the ILS runway 8. We'll pin this one. That's going to be our chart. Nothing to hard tune here. 078. We'll take a look at our minimums. ILS is 1368. We'll throw you right here. 1368 in the barrow. Looks good. And we did hit our cruise. We are in out cruise. So everything is set up for landing on runway 08 for the ILS. Let's take a look here. We'll go ILS push buttons on. There is a small error. We have 111.75, which is fine. This can get tuned in here. You'll see the identifier once you pick up the proper one. What we should also have, though, is we should have a magenta line where the final approach course is, if it's within our window here. The final approach course is 078, so there should be a magenta line right here indicating the final approach course. Now, if the final approach course, let's say it was 270, you would have an arrow, or you would have a box, rather, of saying 270 off to the side. So you don't have your final approach course represented here. Small error. But again, we're nitpicking, right? We're nitpicking for realism. We'll go terrain up on my side anyway for this approach. And we'll do manual brakes, full flaps. Reverse doesn't work yet. I heard that if you have... Do I have free look momentum on again? Look speed, we'll turn you down even more. I heard you have to go into some CFG file and turn set reverse on axis to true. That's not my job. I'm not a developer. You got to fix your stuff. So that needs to be fixed. The reverse on axis is not working. You have to go and change a config file. Did I try the Lido charts? I did, and it gives me an aneurysm. I cannot stand Lido charts. If you still have performance issue on the ground, check your VRAM 2024. Oh yeah, I know what it is. No, well here's the thing. No, Litos 97. It is VRAM, but it's only in my 321 Neo. I even turned my settings down. So we'll try it again. We're going to see if the Fenix eats the VRAM. If any airplane should eat VRAM, it should be the Fenix, right? So the Fenix is coming up on the next stream here at 11:45, about 1 hour from now. We'll take a look at it. We'll see how the Fenix does. EFB settings change size. Didn't I change that? I already changed it, I thought. Oh. Is that easier for y'all to read if I do a medium-sized tablet? I'll do medium for streaming purposes. Thanks, man. Appreciate you, JJ. Back to Navigraph. Yeah, it's probably easier for y'all to read. All right, medium is set. Thanks, dude. Appreciate $2 super chat. Climb to 370. Thank you for the $5 super chat, man. I appreciate that. It says 3-hour sit in Philly before a transcon to LAX. Ooh, how the wind's up there aloft. That could be a long one. Trip trade gone wrong. Have a safe 321 flight. Our new Neos have the radio stack surprisingly easy. Yeah, I do like these radios. I like being able to type in the freak, you know. Just when you should be highlighted, it'd be like 25.6. Boom. Flip it over. I do like that. Thank you so much, man, for the $5 super chat. Enjoy your transcon to LA. Hopefully the winds aren't too atrocious up there going across. I do not envy you, my man. Blackbird Controls, thank you for the 10 gifted memberships as well. Can we get a round of applause for Mr. Blackbird Controls gifting the 10 memberships to the channel? Again, if you pick up a membership from Blackbird Controls, say thank you and go check him out. If you haven't heard of who he is, you should definitely know who he is by now. The best honeycomb Bravo throttle mods available for purchase on the market. Right now he's got 737 levers and 727 levers. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Marcus says, I can't run the Fenix in 24 yet. Lagfest. Really? Well, we're going to find out together, y'all. All right, here comes our TOD, about 5 prior, which we are. Let's go ahead and manage descent. Mock descent. Let's see how the airplane handles. We should put this into below mode. Down we go. Mock descent. We got our econ descent window. I guess we don't have FMS2. We're not latching, but that's okay. Or thrust idle. She's coming on down. Let's get the seatbelt sign on. The contrail is pretty bad. Looks like you're leaking fuel. No doubt. You're leaking fuel on those contrails. I don't know if those are default contrails or how they're associated, but yeah, the contrails are not good. You love that they power the Bose headsets automatically, Lucas. That's an option. Some of them, depending on how it's set up in the airframe, they don't all do it, which is crazy. At least that's what my FO was telling me. I carry rechargeable lithium batteries in my pro flights, and I just alternate. So I've got the rechargeables, I run them. I have the other one charged. I can charge the other ones in the cockpit. So I keep 2 fully charged sets. I keep I keep a charged lithium set, and then I carry a backup Duracell just in case. So if mine die, I put the other lithiums in, I start charging the other lithiums. And that's just a rinse and repeat. How's the 321 Neo just got on? Richard, well, welcome on, dude. I'm going to be honest with you. Other than the sounds and the obvious high VRAM usage, it's been doing a pretty good job. Now, we're getting a little bit of oscillation here. Let's help it out. Let's go ahead and get some speed break out. She can't accelerate past 280 because we got a speed restriction. So we have a 72 knot tailwind. That's not helping us. That's going to suck for climb to 370, who's going the opposite direction. So this tailwind is hurting us here. This is not unrealistic. This is just bad pilot planning. Probably should have started down just a little bit earlier. It looks like we're going to meet this restriction here of at 25. We're going to be a little bit high. Maybe. Thrust idle descent. We were a little high there over Skull. So we're going to try to catch up to it. We got full boards out. 70 knot tailwind on a 321 is going to hurt you. I should have started down early. Thomas Ray says, imagine what it would be like if Airbus made a 320 series cockpit refresh, which included an updated main panel to be similar with the 350. Ooh, too much glass. Matthew James got the V3 throttle, follow calibration, keep getting throttle jumping. Are you talking about in 24? What do you mean by throttle jumping? I have noticed in 24, if you have another throttle hooked up to the simulator, such as my Bravo, you have to make sure that that axis is off. You have to make sure there's no other throttle axis bound in 24, or else you'll get throttle like it'll be jumping and won't lock in. But right now I'm using the Throttletek. Everything is working as it should be. Calibration is fine. So I would start there. I would start looking for any conflicting bindings. And it's hard. It's really hard to nail down axis stuff right now, because the simulator has the settings bugged where you try to look at changing the curves or changing any dead zones. You can't see what your hardware's doing. That's bugged out. So until that's fixed, it's also kind of guesswork if you need any dead zone or null zone or anything like that. I did recently get the speed brake working. I had to do an invisible speed brake dead zone to be able to operate the speed brake lever and arm it. Terry, what's up, man? Thank you. Use the hardware channel on Discord to let me know what you're seeing. Yeah, Team Vodka is a professional hardware person, so hit them up in the hardware section of the Discord. You should be able to get you straightened out. Is the Sharklet bigger on the 321 and 320? I don't believe it is. I don't believe it is. Look at that wing flex. How do we have... I still don't understand that. How do we only have one wing flexing? Love it. This is pretty good here. This is a pretty believable flex. Hayden, thanks for the £2, man. Direct speed bed. Direct speed bed. Hayden, appreciate you, man. Thank you for the £2. We're going direct to Speed Bed City. I used to watch the speed beds come into Sky Harbor, man. Used to watch them. I used to fly a 7.4 into Sky Harbor back in the day. Are all the Fenix planes ported over? I believe they're all ported over, Jack. When I did the update, I had the option for the 319, 321, and the 320. So make sure you hang tight, guys. About 55 minutes from now on this channel, we are going live in the Fenix 321 short hop. Lauren said, I told you, one wing flex free, the other is $4.99 a month. I know it. Gosh, I know it. Don't give them ideas, Lauren. Stop giving them ideas. Is PMDG planning on releasing a 7.3 for 24? I think they're planning on it, but it's been, I don't know what the status is. Bo says all the Phoenixes are there. Good. It's experimental, right? It is experimental compatibility at this point because they don't know... I guess they've had some issues, so the Fenix compatibility is in quotes. Experimental. Digital Work said it worked fine. We're going to find out together. Here's the thing. I'm pretty sure if they already have experimental compatibility, they're probably going to nail in a confirmed compatibility pretty soon. I saw a little excerpt, and it said that they were working in shifts of like 2 teams, so it was basically 24/7 work to get the Fenix in 24, which is, I mean, shout out to Amir, man. That is crazy. That whole Fenix team is phenomenal. They're doing some phenomenal stuff over there. I can't wait for the secret project to be a 737 Classic. Speculation, obviously. The PMDG 7.3 will cost for the 24 upgrade. I believe no date was mentioned. Okay, 6-time dad. Are you a 6-time dad for real? Man. I got 3 plus 1 more coming. Can't imagine 6. Not sure about everyone else, but I have issues using non-default liveries on the Fenix. Really? Okay, so I think I got some liveries. Oh, I don't know if I installed it. I'll have to check about the livery situation here. I'll check on the livery situation. Fenix 340 when? That would be awesome. Okay, so here we go. Again, we're monitoring this 321 Neo. We're seeing how it performs. Right now, we're back on path. We're locked in on the descent profile. Let's go ahead and... what is our 3015, so we'll push you in. 3015 is set. 3015 is set. 1, twice, and 3 times. Little offset from the deviation. That's normal. The sounds in the cockpit right now, I'll turn them up. But again, 321 Neo, very believable. The 321 Neo is very quiet. I will be honest with you, it's very quiet. Only the takeoff and engine start seemed a little too quiet, at least from the wing view. I feel like the wing view should be a little bit louder. I'm not sure though. I can tell you from up front with my pro flights on, you cannot hear the engine start at all. 0. So I don't, and here's the other thing, in the 321, in the 321 Classic, I put it in pass-through mode, so I still have a little bit of canceling, but not much. In the 321 Neo, I don't even turn it on because I want to be able to hear everything as much as I can. It's that much quieter. But if you were to turn on your pro flights and start engines, you wouldn't hear anything from startup to shutdown. You might hear takeoff a little bit. This is a stock aircraft, Greg, and that's why we're giving it a full rundown test. You know, it handled the thrust reduction, it handled the acceleration on schedule, it handled the secondary flight plan. Let's go ahead, matter of fact, let's do a secondary. We'll copy active, so we've cleared out our other secondary. That looks good. For a default airplane, it's doing a really good job. Now, there are some issues. Performance and wing flex are the 2 major issues I've noted so far. Six boys. Man. You got your hands full, dude. I got 1 and 1 more coming, so I'll have a 2 and 2. 6 boys. Good night. You could almost do a 7-on-7 football scrimmage. I guess you can do a 3-on-3. You play quarterback. That's wild. Do I like this new type of radio panel? Allie, I do. The only reason I don't like these radio panels, some of them don't dim enough when you're flying a red eye. But I do like the radio panel. I think it's a little bit more complex than it needed to be for air. I don't know what they saved other than making compatibility between the newer Airbuses. Yeah, and here's the other thing. It's just one unit, right? Whereas the older radios, you had, I think, 2 units to accomplish all this. So it's all in one big unit. But being able to change frequencies, 22.8, so much easier. 22.8, boom, flip them over. Very good animation there. That's exactly what it does. Can I mute it? We should get... Yep, there's the mute on the speaker. Very good. This is nice. This is a properly simulated panel here. Normally we leave them intercom. The Boeing guys are the ones that go no headphones because they're not used to it, I guess. But yeah, this looks like a pretty good representation of this new RMP. Pretty dang good. All right, we need to slow down here. Let's get the speed brakes out. We also need to get a flight recorder up and running. EVT Gaming, thank you for the $5 super chat, man. Appreciate you. How long was your path as an aviator? In July of 25, I got accepted into a pathway program. Very cool. About scheduling, what would you recommend as an FO? About scheduling, what would you recommend as a new FO? What do you mean about scheduling? So you got accepted in a pathway program. What I would do is fly as much as you can and get your time as fast as you can, and get to an airline as fast as you can. If that's your end goal. If that's your end goal is airline stuff, put your head down, go to work, and get that seniority number. Seniority is everything. Seniority is everything. Thank you, EVT, for the $5 Canadian, man. Hopefully that... I'm not quite sure what you mean about scheduling. Maybe that answered your question. My oldest is almost 17 and my youngest is 3. Wow, quite the spread there. I'm done having kids. We're a blended family. Right on, man. Well, hopefully you have a wonderful holiday season coming up at you, man. Careful selecting vias in the arrival. Half the time you end up with a WASM crash. Really? Okay, so let's not do a via. I think I already loaded it up, didn't I? Or did we leave the via blank? Oh, look at this. We found another bug here. So Throttletek, Tezel, Falgo, and then it should be... Okay, so we have an issue here. What do we got going on here? It should be... Where's I like? Okay. Is it just not because of the via? The via is not connected or something? Hold on. Kagor. Kagor's right there. Okay, so there's an issue. I'll tell you what, let's make life easier. Let's go direct JAML. We're going to go direct JAML once we get a little bit closer. So there is an issue with the programming there. We do have an issue with the programming. So let's get all our lights on. No ATC to speak of. We're at 10,000 feet. Lights are on. 9.6. We're on the arrival. Do have an issue. Why is the vertical path green dot so big? I mean, it's like maybe 10% too big. I don't know, man. It's so you can see it better because you're always high on the arrival. Okay, so see, so this is proper. You see this 258. Wait, what? Why is our final approach course 258? We're landing on runway 8. We do have an issue. Arrival. ILS 8. I'm not going to do something to mess with it because I don't want to get a... Okay, there we go. 078. All right, now we've got it. 078's tuned in. We're hovering right at green dot. Let's go ahead and get those slats out. via Fenix -10. Flaps 1. We'll pop the slats out. EBT, thanks for the 2 pounds, man. My pathway, it's with an airline. Oh, very cool. 321 A330. Very cool. Oh, what do you want for schedule? Like when you get there? Man, don't even worry about that. Go ahead and get there first and then worry about it. A lot of times, I don't know where you're have a pathway to. A lot of times it's all based on seniority, so you may not even get the airframe you want. My recommendation, though, is bid for whatever your base where you can live at home. You don't want to commute. So don't commute for an airplane, don't commute for a paycheck. Be based where you live, unless you want to move. So wide body flying is not an interest to me in real life anyway. But I know for a lot of the young guns out there, that's all they want to do is do red eyes back to back and spend 36 hours in London. Knock yourself out, man. Alt constraint. There's descent. We're getting a little squirrely. I'll tell you what we're going to do here. Let's going to go direct JAML. This is not what I'm used to. Maybe it's a different FMS system. And we're direct JAML. We're going to go for open descent, and we're going to go down to 4. Thrust idle open descent 4000 is blue. Speed brakes. Now we're accelerating. That's incorrect, so it didn't properly load that up. Speed brakes out. Let's maintain 200 here, 210. What are we doing? I'm going to select heading here real quick. Proceed direct. We have 2 JAMLs. Proceed direct this JAML. Insert. Alright. Nav. So definitely some confusion there in the code. Obviously, there is an error with that. now I'm hearing more wind noises. Yeah, the sound cones are bad. I've said it before. I think I said it on the very first stream we did. Is iniBuilds, they tend to be inconsistent with sounds, and I don't know why that is. They seem to have inconsistent sound quality. All right, we're speed out star 4,000 feet. We're 14 miles out. We should be able to intercept. Let's go approach AP2. Oh, she's going to go for it. Let's see what happens. So I'm going to let it do its thing here. We're going to go low star. We're going to come back to 180. Below via Fenix. Let's go flaps 2. It's because they don't hire Boris. I know, they need to hire Boris, Water. If iniBuilds had Boris sounds, we'd be talking about a different thing. Oh, the flaps, though, my goodness. The modeling is great. This wing modeling is rivaling the Fenix. We'll have to see here once we get in the Fenix, but if my memory serves me right, that modeling looks pretty dang good. We're going to be able to look at the Fenix here in just a few minutes, so that's pretty good. Infian, so far the systems are better than a lot of payware airplanes that we've had in the past. Are they perfect? No. We've noticed a couple bugs. We noticed a bug with the FMS on approach. We noticed a bug with the way the Direct 2s work. I don't know if they're doing a different software load. I always hesitate to say, oh, this is completely wrong in the box, or this is not how it should be in the box, because there are so many different variants and software loads that you can have on an Airbus that just because what I'm used to doesn't mean that that's the way it is for everybody. I know it's not the way for everybody. So I'm just saying I'm seeing some conflicting. Like I don't recall ever seeing the Direct 2, like you have to hit it up here. It's always insert here. It's always on the bottom. So some inconsistencies there. Do fixes? Yes, a fix. So secondary works, fix info works, manage speed. Why you don't have an activated approach phase? That should activate approach phase. Gear down. Recording is on. Alright, I'm going to set my view a little bit better. There we go. VFE next -10, flaps 3. And we'll go full flaps. Should we test an auto land? I almost think we should test an auto land. Let's test an auto land. I think we have time. Our VAP speed does not appear proper. Spoilers arm, cabin check, we're waiting for them. No, in the air I don't have any stutters. Now this is a problem here. We've got the wrong, we're going to need to, let's do 138. Let's bump that sucker up. All right, we're gonna do, I'll tell you what, we'll do a auto land and then we'll go right to a go around. How's that? And then we'll just do a visual landing. So I'm going to try it auto land it here, and we'll do a bulk landing go around. So we would have no DH there in the barrel. I'm not going to change it right now, but she should still auto land. We've got Cat 3 dual. We have auto land capability. There's no reason, the way that the airplane's set up right now, there's no reason that it shouldn't auto land. There's our land green.
300.
We'll go into a bulk landing here.
200.
Definitely need some paywares to
100.
airports.
50, 40, 30,
Flares coming up. Ooh, 20's in your headset.
Retard.
Go around flaps. Go around flaps. Autopilot's off. There we go. Toga SRS, go around track. Positive rate. Gear up. Navin. Spear wings 357. Fly the published miss. Climb and maintain 4,000. Published miss 4,000. Spear wings 357. Lever climb. Speed out star. Question that. Comes our turn. We're nabbing flaps 1, speed checks, flaps 1. Out. Flaps 0, up takeoff checklist. Let's re-engage. Autopilot 1. Alright. Spear wings 357. Fly heading 300. Visual approach runway 08. Alright, 300. We'll expect a visual for runway 8. We're 220. We're right at green dot. That's fine. We'll leave it as is. Just let the recording keep going. Let's go ahead and see if we can recycle the box here. So we're going to reactivate the approach phase. Flight plan is all sorts of jacked up. So we're going to go Fenix, arrival, ILS 8, approach via, no via, insert. Okay, that looks good. We're going to reselect heading. Maintain 270. Put us on a downwind leg here. Select speed. Let's juice it up a little bit. Let's get there. Let's get up to about 250. Let's just go 250 so we can get there. All right. The flare was pretty rough. I've got the recording. We'll be able to assess it in the recording. It put it on the on the pavement, so that's a plus. It did seem a little bit firm. BM amp sim works in 2020. It does. I will have to check it out. I'll have to check it out. I have it again. I'm really hesitant to start dragging stuff over in the sim, guys, because I don't want to have any instability, and I know we want to get new sceneries, but until I know stuff is like updated for the sim, I feel like it's a recipe for disaster. So as of right now, I'm still rocking all default sceneries. All right, so we'll take it in right over Jamel again. So we're at 4,000 feet. Let's see if we can sequence the box. Jamel, radian 087. That's not right. 268. So we're going to redirect us. Jamel 268. Radial in. Send it. Okay, that's fine. It's probably, what's the final? 078. It would be 268. Why is that not right? That should be right. 268 looks a little off. Need to wait till patch, says JJ. Okay, I will wait till patch. I will definitely wait till patch. Number 8 in the Phoenix is great views of Chase and ASU talent. Whew, AJ. Allegedly. Thanks for the $3 super chat, man. Appreciate you. Good times partying down there at the ASU. Alright, we're 4,000. We're going to rocket back now. We're going to come straight back to 180. Now, this will be a full visual approach. We'll go bird on, and we're just going to hand fly the airplane all the way down. So I'm going to go just past Jamel, and then I'll turn everything off. We'll hand fly it. There's VFE next, -10. Let's go flaps 1. Where's the TCAS? It's on the RMP. I'm too scared to put GSX in 24. Yeah, I'm not using any GSX until it's been thoroughly vetted. until it's been thoroughly vetted. Reflections look dang good, man. The wing modeling is awesome on this. TCAS is right here, so we're below TARA right now. If you want to get the full screen, go to ATC, and now you have your menu for your whole transponder right here. So that's under the ATC window. And VF Phoenix -10, flaps 2. Oh, we're not going to do a full-blown power off 180. But here's, guys, tomorrow evening we're going to do a bush flight. And I don't know yet where we're going. I think it's going to be somewhere in Colombia. Big surprise. But if you want to fly along, make sure you're in the Discord. I'll try to post some details. I'll probably be on that sim, but it'd be cool if we can get in a group so we could actually see each other. Maybe I should hit up Jeff Faviano. Not Faviano. I just want to do some more bush flying, man. I love the bush stuff in this sim. All right, we're looking good. I'm not going to redirect you. Yeah, the box. I don't know what's going on with that. Let's come straight here onto a downwind leg, or base leg rather. Key 6, what's up, man? Thank you for the support, dude. Cowboys got lucky. Oh, dude, they got more than lucky, man. I had 2 screens up yesterday. I had the Cowboys game on, and then I had the Bears game on because I can't stand Caleb Willies. And Mark in the Discord, he's the ultimate Caleb Willies fan. So I was trying to see how they could lose that game. 2 wild games, man. As lame as that first window was yesterday, the last 15 minutes were absolutely insane for multiple games. All right, Lauren says 30-degree intercept, so let's rock this all the way over 078, so it should be 108 is my maximum. I can't do that. I got to do one. Will be more. We're visual. 135 on the heading. Oh, Kern Valley? We could do a Kern Valley fly-in tomorrow. That would be fun. Kern Valley fly-in would be a lot of fun. Alright, let's arm it up. Glide slope blue, low blue, cat 3 dual pilot 1+2. It's recaptured. I don't know why we're attempting to start doing the Star of David here on our ND. So we definitely got some coding issues here in the box. Definitely have some coding issues. I'm not exactly sure. We got inbound Jamil. Let's go direct WhatsApp. Why are you blinking at me? Fuel wing tank low. Oh, we are low on gas. we need to land on this one. All right, we're redirected. We're renaved. Here's a bug. AP2 should have disconnected here because we lost our Loke. So Loke star. There we go. Well, when we lost the Loke, they should have went back to AP1 only. We should have had the reversion chirp. So it's getting the job done. It's way better than any other default Airbus I've flown. It's better than any default Airbus I've flown by a long shot in any sim across the board. I would say this is, this rivals some. Yeah, well, I'm not even going to say that. Everyone's going to get pissed off. But it's pretty good for a default plane. There are issues though. All right, glide slope star. Autopilot's coming off. We're going to hand fly it. I'm going to leave the auto thrust on initially here because I want to see how it responds to the inputs of pitch, and maintaining a speed. So we're Cat 1, we're hand flying it, runway's in sight. We are activated and confirmed. Replay's been recording this whole time, Andre. Yep, we got the replay going for both landings. We'll be able to assess the auto land and the manual landing here. We're getting low gas, yeah, so we need to Sky Harbor Tower, Phoenix, crossfeed on. Let's do that. Clear fuel, not something you want on short final. At least you want it on short final, you don't want it on top of descent, that's for sure. We are declaring minimum fuel. So, Spear Wings 357, Roger, do you require any assistance? Nope, just requiring minimum fuel. Declaring minimum fuel. Spear Wings 357, Roger. You're down. Spoilers are armed. Flaps 3. Let's do it from wing view. 321 is a little bit slippy. Let's see if we can get her down. The flaps full here. Get some drag in there. We got to slow down here. Love that. Wait, the flaps, they just look more bulbous, you know? I don't know what it is. Alright. Auto thrust will stay on in an attempt to judge the auto thrusting capabilities. I don't know if we have some ground speed mini attempting to work there. I'm not sure. I see that speed target jumping around. We're 1,000 feet. We're stable, clear to land. This cabin sign's blue, I guess. They're not ready. They're ready now? Yep, cabin's ready. I like bulbous things. I still think it looks too green. I thought we had seasons in MSFS 2024. Why is everything bright green? Got a lot of trees in the city. There's not that many trees in Phoenix, I can tell you that right now. A little bit of a destabilization there. Getting some stutters. Getting some stutters.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 10. Retard. Retard.
Reverse doesn't work. Spoilers. Can I use F2 reverse? No, F2 reverse doesn't work, so just manual brakes. Stuttering adds to the challenge. Welcome to Hotel de Skyhaba. All we have is idle thrust. Thought I was landing in the tropics. I know. When can I get my what is it? The seasons, the Orbix Rexacu seasons. And welcome to iniBuilds. We're back on the ground with the Stutter Fest. Let's just clean it up. We're going to go straight to the gate. We're not going to shut it down. We're going to go into replay. And you see it, we're on the ground and we have maximum stutters back. So we'll ghost ride it into the gate here. Check out those replay. Yeah, reversers are on MEL. You see that? We had no stutters in flight. It's only on the ground. I'm going to be very curious to see how the Fenix responds. We got 20 minutes before the Fenix stream, so let me hurry up and park this. Yeah, the call-out sounds are way off. You know, the 20 sound is in your ears like it should be, and then, yeah. Here's the other thing. So with this RMP, the audio, the call-outs are in the headset. In the old school version, the call-outs are not, they do not come through the headset. That's a very important piece of information to remember when you're flying with noise-canceling headphones. So if you have the old school radio stacks, those call-outs do not go into the headset. They go through the speaker. And if you have noise canceling on, it may not be as loud as they want it to be. So, all right, we're parked, we're set. Let's go replay cam. Let's see how we did. Let's see if this crashes the whole sim. Replay's up. Boom. This was our auto land, and I can tell you already we're just going to have issues. I mean, we're going to have so many issues. I'm not going to be able to even stream the replay on this in this airplane. Let's pause it. Let's run it forward till where we got close. Unfathomable. I think we're going to go Phoenix 321. I think we're going to go Vegas. I think we're going to go Phoenix to Vegas in the Phoenix. Yeah, this wing looks great, Turk. As negative as you are, you're absolutely right. This wing is fantastic. Yeah, all the gear, no idea. The default recording software works pretty good. I'm using my old school recording software just because it's faster for me right now. But I do like the flight control replay for the GA flying and doing flyovers and stuff. Okay, what's up, man? Yeah, ortho looks much better. Way too much green out there on those mountains, though. This is a desert. There are no trees. I can promise you, there are no trees on Camelback Mountain that look like that. Ooh, nice spoiler deflection, though. So this was the auto land. Let's see if we can at least watch the impact here. This is the auto land. Golly. It basically didn't flare it, is what it did. So it got us down. It didn't flare it, though. All right, let's go back, and now let's watch my landing. So we'll pause it. We'll run it all the way forward. We did our downwind leg. We did this. We're on final. Resume replay. We'll reset the speed brakes. Cap Canada's having an issue with the Fenix with a memory leak. Really? Is he streaming right now? Is he live? Like you're talking about right now? Well, that's no good, because we're about to attempt the Fenix here. We'll see what happens. I'll tell you what we'll do. If the Fenix can't, it doesn't work, we'll, maybe we'll do a quick GA bush hop. Real quick. We'll see. Well, we're going to give it a shot here. We got 20 minutes to the next stream. At the end of this stream, it's going to automatically boot you over to the Fenix stream, so make sure you hang in for that. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, if you like seeing the default airplanes here, me doing some testing, make sure you hit the like button so I can gauge what y'all like to see. There's my landing, much better. I got to say, we have to stop. Pause, and mute. Okay, let me tell you something right now, y'all. This is no joke. This is legitimate. If I were to summarize Flight Simulator 2024 right now, this is how I would summarize it. This is my TLDR, too long, didn't watch. Microsoft 2024 visually looks like 2020 with Rex Atmos and some better volumetric haze and clouds. Okay, that's pretty much all you're going to get on the visual aspect of it. Flight modeling wise, there is a substantial change to how aircraft behave in and around the ground. From 1,000 feet to touchdown and even on the ground, the simulator / game is significantly different, and also it's a step and a change in the right direction. Is it 100% perfect? No, but it is better, without question. It is better than what we had in 2020. And I got to say that I was not expecting that. I was expecting this to be mostly a visual change, some little visual changes with some career mode and mission style stuff. And while that's also true, I am surprised at the changes that I feel with the flight modeling. When you get in and around the ground, you'll notice the floating is less. The airplanes feel like you got more inertia. Look at that butter. I mean, that is a 321 butter if I've ever seen it. All right. So it's what's driving me to keep coming back to the sim is how it feels. That's it. It's not how the airplanes are. It's not how it looks. Definitely not how everything has to load through the cloud. It's how the airplanes are responding to control inputs 1,000 feet to the ground. I mean, this is just rolling a hold out right there. Oh, baby, that's a butter. I mean, we didn't even smoke that left tire. That was so smooth. All right, fly the nose wheel down. Absolute juice. Absolute juice. Okay, so I'm going to get a quick sail up. You can watch one more landing. I'm going to pause it. I'm going to wind it back. I'll put you right out here on final. I'll put you inside the airplane. I'll get the speed brakes stowed so you can at least look at this airplane or this side with the wing flex. Guys, we're going live in about 10-15 minutes. I might delay it another 5 minutes or so just to make sure I get all my views set up. But we're going to be trying the Fenix next. Please stick around. Head over to that stream. This is going to be a direct hot take comparison between the 321 Neo from iniBuilds and the 321 from Fenix, which in my opinion is the absolute GOAT of Airbus simulation. This will be my first test in that airplane in the new sim coming up here around 11:45. So thank you all for tuning in. Tom H, thanks for the $2 super chat. How does the flight modeling compare to X-Plane? Tom, it feels Tom, ask me after I land the Fenix, okay? Ask me after the next one. Ask me after I land the next one. But what I will say, Tom, is I don't think the X-Plane fans are going to like what I'm going to say if I have a... if I'm being honest. All right? So, I'll see you guys in a couple minutes. Enjoy this replay. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Hit the like button. See you on the next stream. See you.